everyone on the archives and on live. I'm back and it's quite a bit later than expected, so this is probably going to be a slightly shorter stream. Oh, look at that, how cool the actual time has progressed, because I haven't been doing anything. I did leave the game open. So, if you watched the previous hour or so, you will remember that we are about to launch for orbit. We accepted a second contract, which we have no intention to complete immediately, and that has given us the money to purchase the ship that will hopefully get us into orbit and back again. I'm trying to fast forward here so that the sun will be in the sky upon launch, but that does seem to be ever so slightly buggy. Go on. Oh, you have to like interact with the thingy to make it do stuff. Okay, that's alright. There's the sun. Let's go for a morning launch. 6,000 funds. We will be using the Orbinator, clocked in at 5,700 credits. Jebediah will be piloting, and here we go. Well, the first time we launched this, we launched it with less fuel, and we were just short of orbit. Let's count the tanks to be sure. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. One extra tank. Will that make the difference? Here we go. Will it do it? I hope it will. Corey in chat saying, oh fuck, you scared me. Let me guess, you left open the screen and was doing something else and suddenly I started speaking. It happens sometimes. Well, that's some adrenaline for you then. You are most welcome. So, hopefully this will work out. No more fancy throttling, just full throttle all the way. We are going slow enough that it doesn't really pay off to go any slower. Sounds weird, but if you go like if you have like 20 times the engine this is, you can actually go too fast down low in the atmosphere, and that will make you less efficient because you're expending so much energy pushing the air out of the way. Not so for us though, we are just boosting straight on up. The trajectory was okay. If I remember last time, we could actually turn over just a little bit sooner. So I'm going to turn, and I'm going to turn fairly vigorously as soon as we reach 12. No, I'm not going to turn vigorously, I'm going to turn gradually as soon as we reach about 11 kilometers, which is about now. We're starting to pick up some good acceleration. I'm not turning at all because I'm mucking about with the wires on my desktop. Not the best timing there, but hey, it's gotta be done, otherwise they would have entangled me. Yeah, it's a serious life here. Look at that, apoapsis at 30. We want to have, ooh, it's hard to steer this thing. We want our apoapsis to not exceed like 72-ish, because that would be wasting energy. Cool. We also don't want our apoapsis to rise too quickly, because that means we can't burn down low. And, well, this may have just nailed the coffin of this space program shut, because I've been wobbling all over the place, not being terribly efficient. However, now it does seem as though things are going moderately well. We're at 36 kilometers, almost completely pitched over. Our apoapsis is now 65-ish. And we shall cut our engine as soon as... Oh, now 75. Nice. Our apoapsis is at 75 and we are almost there. We did bring a whole extra tank. If we fail now, that would probably be all because of me. And, well, it would be a shame to leave the stream on such a failurous note. And failurous is not a word, but I invented it, so now it is. Right, same deal as before, coming off the time warp. As soon as we hit our apoapsis, which is now at 75 kilometers, I'm going to full on punch the throttle, and we'll see whether Jebediah makes it back down again, really. So let's see, we have a full tank and a bit remaining. I am hopeful. This should work. At least I hope it works. 74. Here this dial shows us our vertical velocity. As soon as that reaches like 10, we should punch the engine and burn for orbit. Vertical velocity decreasing about 10 meters per second. Here we go, firing the engine. Full clip. Let's switch to the map view, see if, when, and how we will make orbit. Oh, I hope it will work this time. Alright, 28 kilometers. We need to increase that just ever so slightly more. 69, and we have orbit. We have orbit. Orbit has been established. We even have a quarter tank remaining. So, woo-hoo. We did it. 6 grand in the bank. And I think Jebediah is even gonna be okay. So let's savor our spacious environment here. What? Zooming about the planet, just a kilometer above the atmosphere, but let's not spoil it by uttering such details. And let's try to land back at the KSC, which is like right over here. I'm not sure if I can do that just from the hip like this, but I'm damn sure gonna try. Let's see, we will do our retro burn like a little bit later. Something like here. Turn so the rocket is facing retro. Let's think. Is there any science I can do? I can't go on EVA. The crew report from space we have already. So I don't think there actually is any science I can do. Turning the craft around. Logging in the attitude. Boom, got it. And now let's burn some propellant. Ideally I want to save some fuel so I can make it a powered descent. But if that's not possible, it doesn't really matter. So our return to Earth is now guaranteed. And I hope we will actually land over there. But it is a little bit hard to predict. Let's punch the time warp now. There is a little bit of fuel remaining. I think we're actually gonna fall into the sea like somewhere here. It's hard to predict these things. Okay, here we go. At least we are landing with some daylight. We won't start slowing down significantly until we hit 30 kilometers of altitude. But that doesn't really count. Or doesn't count, doesn't matter. We don't care about that. Hey, what's up? Some more guys joining in the chat. It's a pity you can't watch the stream, Al. Just made orbit, which was I think the 3rd attempt that finally worked. I hope we're gonna make shore here, because that makes it easier to recover the ship, and we're actually fairly close to the KSC, so yay, go me. Re-entering from the hip, it went pretty well. Boom. Let's dial back the time acceleration, because we want Jebediah to live. Jebediah is probably going to get some experience for this. Hurrah, hurrah. Cool. Deploying parachute. We have 5 units of fuel. And those are going to be used to cushion the landing. So hopefully we can salvage the engine bell. Because that one was expensive. And if we can recover it for about 90% value, I think you can see the KSC over there. Just a pixel in the distance. If we can salvage that, that will be nice. We are now at 6.2 thousand funds, and we will get, well, something back for this at least something from the capsule. Actually, this is very dangerous. If we land on the engine bell and then tip over, Jeb might die, and we might lose all the reputation and still end the space program here. So we're not out of the woods yet, actually. I just thought about that. That is completely scary. Come on, Jeb. Put it straight. Let's wait for parachute deployment first. Put it straight and then... Come on, deploy. Put it straight. Putting Jeb at the helm. SAS on. 13 meters per second. That's too fast. But hopefully I can time those last few units of fuel like a boss and land safely. It's gonna be hard though, because there's really not a lot of leeway for that. Where's my shadow? There it is. Okay, here goes. Boom! Oh no! Oh no! Don't fall over! Oh shit, I think we died. Exactly what I was afraid of happened. Oh man. Too greedy. Jebediah Kerman was killed. That's really not good. That's really not good. Also the pod, the money, everything went to shit. Oh no. We got no money back from the ship. That means we're completely screwed. Oh, look at that. We have some stuff here. Maybe we can recover it from here and get some cash at least. We lost our pilot, our first orbiter. It's a real Komarov moment. Komarov is a Russian that flew the first Soyuz, and he died on re-entry. Oh, we did get money for that, so that works. Our reputation is fairly negative because Jebediah died. Alright, so SITREP, we have one contract accepted, which is to test the LVT-45 liquid fuel engine orbiting Kerbin, which we're gonna have to do at some point because we can't cancel it. We don't have the 250,000 credits to pay for that. And for now, we have to build our reputation back up because we're not even allowed to go to the moon now. Man, that is horrible. It's just horrible. Perform visual surveys of Kerbin. This will give us a completely low amount of prestige, and we need prestige. All of this gives trivial amounts. Significant. 12 credits. Is there like a numeric? Can we see how much we have in numeric amounts? Aggressive negotiations. How much? How can I see how much reputation I have? It's in the yellow, but not by a huge amount. I have a feeling this is fixable. Grisewolf in chat asking, no inline decoupler. We have absolutely nothing. We have nothing. This is the super hard mode. That means 10% rewards for everything and 1000% penalties for everything, and that means 8,000 credits is a veritable fortune at this point. I had the science to unlock this, but if I spend this 1200, I can't afford it. So we designed mini rockets that don't need separators, and I think we're gonna have to try this. Altitude 18,000, the Mark II radial parachute. I think we can use the surveyor for this that we used before. Splash down at Kerbin. We could probably do this as well. Let's try this. This seems easy. And then maybe we'll get some prestige. Okay. 18,000 at this speed. I think I have a ship that can do that pretty easily. Yeah, Grisewolf hinting that I should land long cigars in water. It will prevent tipping over and dying. This is true. However, that will also prevent recovering the money. However, yeah, if we're not gonna do this again without decouplers, definitely water. Save the Kerbals. That's important. Let's grab the blast furnace and dial back this one a bit. Nice. It doesn't matter. Only the altitude matters. It doesn't matter the location, so we can turn horizontal to make everything better. I'm just thinking out loud here. We need to put this one on. We need to place that sort of carefully. I think that will do it. And hopefully 12 reputation credits will help a little bit with our precarious situation. Now there's also visual surveys that I can do. There's a whole bunch of them actually, so that's probably going to be good for the coffers of the space program, but I can only accept one contract at a time. I can of course accept two, but as you will recall, one of them is occupied by testing the LVT-45 in orbit. So we're not going to do that. We are going to... Oh, this is quite a narrow window. Between 18,000 and 19,400. That means we're going to try and establish an arc with a apoapsis of 18.5 kilometers, and that will have a large chance of nailing the speed between the speed windows. So hopefully that will work. Bill's first flight, by the way, because of course Jebediah is dead. A little bit painful, but yeah, who knows. Maybe he will shine in his place. I need to activate the parachute when all these check marks are green. I don't want to mess this up. And of course, because Bill is not a pilot, we cannot use the luxury of SAS anymore, which is a bit of a pain, to be honest, because I like SAS and SAS likes me, maybe. Right, 7 kilometers apoapsis. Coming up on a third booster, which will carry us the rest of the way home. Actually, it will carry us a lot further than just the rest of the way home, and that's where all this horizontal steering is gonna come in. Let's see, we are now heading for 10 kilometers. So let's light it. Oh, maybe I throttled it back too much. Right, let's point that up. So we do want to gain that altitude. I might have to recruit a blue Kerbal that is a pilot, because wow, having to steer everything manually is... well, I'm not used to it anymore, let's say that. Oh dear. Nerg. I was looking at the chat, not at the ship, which is of course always a dangerous choice. Fortunately, I have 2/3 of the booster left. I still need some altitude because we need to be above 18.1 kilometers. This booster is halfway expended. I'm actually doubting if we'll make this. Pointing straight up now. We need 6 more kilometers of altitude. And... well, actually, if we make it like this, it will have been perfect, because the speed will be within the window. 13.5 kilometers, probably gonna make it. We have a quarter on the booster. And as long as my thumb is hovering over the spacebar, as soon as those 4 check marks turn green, our upper speed boundary is 540. As soon as the check marks turn green, we can do it. Let's turn horizontal, because we are approaching the... boom, here we go. Yes, did it. Now, of course, let's try with the last bits of fuel to head back to the KSC for slightly higher recoveries. Of course, this is really weird to pilot a ship with a parachute out and try not to burn it, even though that's impossible under the game's physics. Come on, booster, run out. Here it goes. This little 3 booster ship is so useful. I used it for all the visual surveys and now as a testing platform. It just performs and performs and performs, keeps going, never disappoints. Alright. Let's have a look at that descent. I'm confused about how to feel. The orbit shot was successful. We've advanced science and Kerbal Kind's frontiers. But Jebediah, our faithful pilot, has died in that endeavor, which of course wasn't the point, although I did see it coming, but I only saw it coming once the ship was already re-entering. That's not so good on the memory there. Oh well, we're grabbing 12 reputations from this this part test, and hopefully that will put us back into good standing with the people of Kerbin. I don't know why it should, although the press line is pretty good. Intrepid astronaut dies. Space agency responds by developing new and improved parachutes. I think we should be able to sell that to the public. So yeah, let's see. Is our reputation improved enough? It's sort of neutral. Not quite neutral, but if we can do one more of these... Oh no, it actually went back here. Let's see. What does it say? It seems like it says numbers, but I can't see which. Right, what can we do? Which has prestige? Significant. Test the RT-10 solid fuel booster splashed down at Kerbin. This is really dangerous, because we need to splash down first and then test it. Also, it gives us 2 credits. That's not a lot, actually. Wait, what does this do? This does 3 places. Sunley's Precipice Alpha Beta Crew Report 1119. We're gonna have to take a look at where these spots are. This will give us money in flight over Kerbin. This will give us... Wait, it says Prestige Trivial, but it gives 12 points here. This says Prestige Significant, and yet it only gives 2 points. How does that work? I don't know how that works. How that works. Prestige Trivial. We can't just do this. This will be free. Although, no, wait a second. If we get the radial decoupler, we can do another orbital shot with the LVT-45, and that would unlock both our contract slots. Man, it's a risk, but then I would be able to do more. Yeah, we're gonna try that. Is that worth it to unlock the second decoupler? Do we get prestige for an orbital run that's successful, even though there's no contract to do so? Man, I don't know these things. Test the stacked decoupler in flight over Kerbin. Man, this is really hard. I have money to make a somewhat nice ship. Take a crew report in flight. Visual surveys. Always visual surveys. That's not gonna do it. 12. It's gonna have to be this. Testing the LV-909 liquid fuel engine in flight over Kerbin. 2100 meters at a slow speed. The window is broad. Yeah, we're gonna have to make a delivery system for this, and it's going to be expensive, and we don't have the money for that. In response to the chat, I could probably buy the decoupler. It's 1200, and then get the cigar with the decoupler. Because the decoupler costs 400 and the cigar costs 6000. So that's 7600. Yeah, that would work. But what would we do with it? There is nothing in the screen here that would advance the space program by going to orbit. because our reputation is so shitty now that we lost the Kerbal, we can't do anything like this. So now we're in the situation where we have to perform visual surveys for money but not reputation, and then use the money to do the missions that give us low money but grant reputation. My god. That is quite the grind. We'll do this one, the Sepratron. We'll be able to do that fairly easily. It will cost us not so much. It will require us to go really slowly at 2100 meters. We'll use the blast furnace again, tweaked as always. This time we're going to really dial back this top booster. Let's see, what's our contract say? 21 to 27. If we get to the altitude, even if we get to the altitude too slowly, we shall still make it. Yeah, I think we'll make it with this setup. And of course we need to bring the actual Separatrons to test. I hope this will get us... yeah, Greiself in the chat is saying that it could use a radial chute to make the parts recoverable. I don't think that works in the vanilla game, and also I don't have the radial chute. I just had that for the experiment. I didn't unlock any parts. Right, let's try this. We need reputation to get contracts that are worthwhile. That's the whole thing. I was thinking we could probably fix up this orbital contract, which is the only thing I could go to orbit for. But that is uncertain if I use the LVT-45 to get to orbit, whether I can then test it, and there's no other way because the ship would get too heavy. And this contract pays really low. It doesn't pay for itself. So this is basically a loan, and I want to fix that by going to the moon with this engine or something like that, and then getting it out of the way automatically. But all of that is impossible without the proper contracts, without the prestige. So we're stuck testing parts to avenge Jebediah's death. Now our speed ceiling here is fairly low. It's 210 meters per second, which is really slow, which is why I throttled back this solid fuel booster. What's gonna happen is hopefully is that I will just make it with the settings on the booster. If not, if I'm going moderately too fast, I'm gonna turn around and thrust down with the remaining thrust in somewhere in this window. If I'm going too slowly but still going upwards, I'm gonna hope that whilst falling down I will accrue the speed that I need to make it. I will also wait with igniting this booster. Actually no, I won't. I will wait a bit. No, we'll slow down automatically because it's so wimpy. Right, we're at 10 kilometers. I hope it's not too wimpy or it's actually not able to lift itself at all. We're in the right speed bracket. We are almost going too slow, which is sort of embarrassing. But then again, we will still get into thinner air, and we will also still get lighter. So I think we will be alright, but it will take a while. Oh man, I may have undercooked this booster. We are hardly even going up anymore. I hope its thrust to weight ratio will eventually climb above 1. I do need to accelerate a bit to meet the test conditions. I have 5 kilometers to climb. over half the booster remaining. Our speed at least is no longer decreasing. We're going up very slowly. I think we'll make it actually. We'll become a fair bit lighter still. 110 meters per second is not that far out of reach. It's twice the speed we're going at now. And I may actually have become the king of tweaking triple SRB rockets to meet arbitrary and indeed randomly generated design windows for part testing, which is well, not quite the expected result of this challenge series stream thingy, but it's certainly a result. Let's see, here we go. We're breaching 110 meters per second. Our booster is almost run out. Now we just need to make 21,000 meters without exceeding 210 meters per second. I think we're gonna do it. That's 1 kilometer away, and that's still 60 meters per second of leeway. I'm gonna actually turn sideways a bit because I'm going too fast. Okay, all check marks checked. Boom. Test completed. Nice. That means heading back to the KSC directly with the remaining rocket power. No, steering is not Bill's favorite thing. Let's wipe these contracts. We made 11 points again. I think this is not going to be enough either, but at least we did a little bit of a reputation fixing. Now, because to fix our horrible public standing after the latest tragic death, Space Agency has now developed separator motors. Will they ever be used? No, because they're expensive, but hey, we know how to save our guys, we're just not gonna do it. Or actually, this is such a penalty that actually I might end up using safety features. I should have thought about that cigar thing. It has happened to me before and it's damn annoying. Damn annoying. That's just plain bad. Right, well, here we go landing this thing again. Recovering the monies, and well, I think we performed pretty well financially on this one. The solid booster fuel is quite cheap, and we may actually even have made a very slight profit on the thing. Although I don't remember what our balance was before this mission. And we're inching up to the blue bit. Total, oh, here it says total reputation minus 43. That's not great, but we're getting there. This will give us 9. So yeah, this is a big grind. This is going to be a big grind for a while. This will give us 2, 12. 12 and a smidgen of money. So that's 12, that's 30. 9, that's 21. This one is actually a little bit more complicated, but 12 though, that's 9 remaining. So it's four missions, and then we'll have 0 reputation and probably some money remaining. Damn, I'm completely not looking forward to that. Wait, rescue Samfield from Kerbin, stuck in low Kerbin orbit. Wow, that's not a lot of money, but it is something to do in orbit. Rendezvousing without... Oh man, rendezvousing without maneuver nodes will be hard. Can do this to make money. We can slowly and steadily build out our space empire. All these visual surveys are really easy to do. Only Precipice Alpha. Wait. Would we be able to walk from Alpha to Beta? That would enable a pretty spectacular mission here. Not this one. This one. Alpha Beta ETLWH. this might even be worth several flights. If this takes 3 flights of the we're gonna do this, but not today. If this takes 3 flights of the thing, then it will be worth it. That's all super close. We might even build a purpose-built vessel for that with some steering. Or walk a gargantuan amount. No, wait! These things, they have ranges around them. This might actually just work. Yeah, this is exciting for next time. And I say next time because I'm tired now and I will mock things up and I will mess things up and it won't work and everything will be annoying. So sorry everyone that tuned in for just this bit. The rest will be available on YouTube, and I think that Sunday evening I will be continuing this, where we will try to fix the reputation and expand into space with permanent presences and so on. We have 8,500 funds. That's 8,500 more than when we started. We've got 11.8 science. That's 11.8 more than when we started, and we did lose some reputation, so oh well. Anyway, have a nice weekend everyone, and I'll see you guys probably on Sunday or on YouTube's or whatever happens. Always there's next time. So good night, see you later.